Good morning and happy Tuesday morning to everybody. I hope everybody's week is going well so far. Well, we have a two-part video again today, which once again is covering more of what happened during the tour. The last thing we talked about was the Invictus Games. Now let's talk about what else happened. Let's go. So let's pick up. We saw what she was wearing and how much it cost. Okay, so also, Harry and Meghan went to a luncheon that was hosted by the vice president. This was a private gathering. It was a private luncheon. And there they also had government officials, leaders from some international organizations and cultural sectors. And it was supposed to be a platform for talking to discuss critical global issues at hand, including creating safer environments for children around the world. Again, these are people that have not been trained and they have no direct knowledge. Now, the vice president invited members of her staff and Harry and Meghan's staff to join the event to thank them for their work. Harry and Meghan, of course, both made remarks to the room, and they're saying that Meghan gave hers entirely in Spanish. And during their speeches, they thanked the vice president and their guests and how much they've enjoyed experiencing Colombia so far, and their admiration for the notable work of Colombians in regards to education, mental health advocacy, and protecting their children. Nothing about the drug trade, though. Now, next up really quickly, a video popped up online of this lunch. And I have to tell you, this guy's walking back and forth with a bottle. Harry and Meghan are sitting at the end of the table. Harry has a translator next to him who is talking to him. And I'm sure Meghan sitting right there can hear every word that he's saying. Harry has food in front of him, but it's pretty obvious this guy is talking directly to Meghan. Meghan reaches over, oh, honey, and touches his arm. But the truth is, this guy is talking directly at Meghan. Harry's bored, so he just decides he's going to continue to eat his food because he's not part of this. Again, this is the Meghan Markle pony show. So he hands Meghan this bottle of alcohol, which she puts down right in front of her. And she's like, oh, thank you. Wait, let me fix my hair. Then he shakes Meghan's hand, then continues to talk to Meghan, and then walks over and finally acknowledges Harry. I don't know. This was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. The two of them are acting like they're teenagers. It's just the weirdest thing. And of course, you see Harry, he's leaning heavily on the translator. It's so odd to me. This whole thing is just so odd to me. All right, moving on. Now, the next day, it's the 17th, and Harry and Meghan kicked the day off by going to visit a Caribbean drumming school. They are no longer in Bogota. Now they are in Cartagena with a very heavy security detail. There was a police Black Hawk helicopter. There was a drone circling around while roads nearby were blocked off. There was a black police anti-terrorist, a nuclear and bioterror van, and an ambulance. Okay? Now here's the weird thing. What you're looking at right now is a video that was put up. They expected, I guess, a lot of people to be there, and there was nobody there. And Harry and Meghan even arrived more than an hour later than they anticipated. And still, there were no crowds. Like, guys, there was nobody there. Look at this. It's empty. Nobody really cared that they were there. And their escorts were still carrying those ballistic briefcases, the Kevlar bulletproof shields, which apparently were part of their security detail. So they pull up in the Land Rovers, which was encircled by police and soldiers. Then they go walking into this barn-style building for, the drumming welcome. And now this whole thing was set on the beach. And the venue itself was completely ringed by police and security. And they're saying, though, that even though this event was common knowledge, there was barely any onlookers. Barely anybody was there. So they show up, and as you can see, Meghan gets the greeting. Harry has to wait, which is what has happened literally at every event that they've been to before they go walking in. Let me show this to you again a little slower. Meghan runs up, Harry just stands there, and then Meghan says, "Here, honey, let me introduce you," before they go walking in to the building. I'm telling you, it's like she's trained Harry. She has it so into his head that she is always to go first. He's like a trained dog. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. And I absolutely could not help but notice that Meghan seems to be getting all the attention. Now, of course, that same assistant, the one who pushed her down the red carpet, was kind enough to take Meghan's purse and hold it for her so that she wouldn't have to worry about holding it during the event. Can you imagine? She has her own purse carrier. I could not help but notice this picture because to me, this is Harry looking back going, where are the crowds? Where are the people? Why is nobody here, even though everybody knew about it? It's just like their digital age, event that they had where 2/3 of the audience, as I showed you, was empty. Now, multiple things took place when they finally got inside the building. There was some demonstrations. There was some music. Obviously, the vice president was there again with her significant other. I'm telling you, this is all for propaganda for her. There were some demonstrations. There were some students who did some drumming. There were some people singing. It was very obvious that Harry and Meghan were given a show. Then Harry and Meghan were given a gift. Then at some point, Harry and Meghan sat down and they got some drumming lessons and they drummed. There you go. This was the whole event. I'm telling you now, this trip is not going at all the way they wanted it to go. A big thank you to Remoulade Sauce, of course, for showing us all the expensive clothing that she was wearing. And a big thank you to Princess Carparkle for giving us the prices of these items. Look, I'm sure it was a nice venue. These people obviously did their best, put on a good show. They wanted to make a good impression. And I feel really bad because I don't think that they're going to get the attention from this that they think they're going to get. I couldn't help but notice Harry had his translator in his ear again. So did Meghan, if you pay close attention. And again, too much with the bronzer. And yeah, this trip is not going so well. Now, I want you guys to remember this head tilt with the grin. And a big thank you to this user on Twitter who pointed out that this is exactly a replica what Prince William and Prince Catherine did on their tour of the Caribbean. They went to a music school, they beat the drums, but look at this last picture of Catherine. Same head tilt, same mouth open smile. I'm telling you, copycats. Now, one woman went on the record, here it is in Spanish, you're about to see it in English, and basically she complained that nobody was interested. She was unhappy that people weren't happy that Harry and Meghan were there. Why would they be happy? Thank you to the British Prince for this one. Here is William and Catherine being greeted in Jamaica during the Black Lives Movement, and here's Harry and Meghan at their venue today. It's just not going well. So why are people upset? Well, it may have something to do with this. Again, here it isn't translated, but here they are with their security moving through the town. Watch this. I mean, most people there really don't know why they're there. Now, really quickly, it's coming out that Harry and Meghan are taping. I knew they were when I saw Harry at Invictus with that camera crew behind him. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. I knew that he was filming. So beyond the propos and everything else, they're filming again. So after the other event, here's Harry and Meghan. We're going to cover this in just a minute, but here they are walking. She's pulled out that Panama hat again. She's got the double-handed grip on Harry again. And as you can see, as they're being escorted, this is a very, this is where you get your souvenirs, souvenir area. And they're taking him to see some statue that's there. But let me point out, here's what I wanted to point out. There's their staff getting their videos and pictures of them. That's Archwell's staff. And then when it was over, Harry's just standing there looking around like, where do we go next? What do we do next? And then they turn and they walk in a different direction with, of course, people taping them the whole way. So I don't, and we're going to discuss this section in just a little bit, but I'm telling you that this tour is a fail. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for all notifications, and then go down into the description box and hit the link for video number 2. Follow me over. Let's go.